what's up, and welcome to another episode of Sneak Up. It's Pedestrian's podcast dedicated to all things art, music, dance, and around culture, sponsored by Platypus Shoes. My name is Jack. I'm your host and your avatar for all these fantastic conversations that we're having here on the show. On this episode, I'm chatting with up-and-comer Channel Tress.
Hey.
Yo. You've just released your latest EP, Black Moses. You've done a bunch of shows all around our country. You played Splendor and supported Childish Gambino, so I thought it'd be a pretty good time to chat. So this is the second time you've been to Australia.
Yes.
And it's in like a really short period of time. How does it feel being flown halfway across the world on such a regular basis nowadays?
It feels great. Great opportunity to see the world, connect with fans across the world, and just expand my network.
And what do you think of Australia from the time that you spent here?
It's kind of one of my favorite places in the world.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I love it. It feels like a second home, kind of.
Cool.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I did my first tour here. My song kind of picked up here before everywhere else.
Is that Controller?
Yeah. And then it just feels like kind of cool to say, I can just go to Australia.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not really somewhere a lot of people would expect to be a second home, I imagine.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's really nice. There's a lot of art and there's a lot of things to see out here. You have a lot of interesting different places.
Oh, yeah. It's very individual. Now that you've become far more recognized as an artist, do you think you'll keep writing for other people? I know that was a big part of what you used to do.
I still do that. I'll always do that. I love music. I love being around it. I love working on other people's stuff. I love working on my stuff. But I always want to be in the conversation when it comes to music. So I always do all of that.
And what's the best thing you get out of flexing your creativity for someone else?
Collaboration, because you learn. And the opportunity of the type of people I've been getting to work with has been like just really good, talented people. So, you know, I love that because you could just the possibilities are kind of endless because you're working with like other talented people. And
I imagine that you're doing a lot of stuff that sort of fits outside the realms of the Channel Tress project.
Mm-hmm.
What other sort of stuff have you been working on musically?
It's like movies, like sync stuff.
Sick.
You know, other artists, different rappers, you know, remixes. Yeah.
Cool. What's the movie stuff?
I can't say.
Oh.
Until it comes out.
Okay, cool. That's fine. That's exciting enough. I'm happy with that. Oh, sick. I recently saw an interview with you from 2017, and you were talking a lot about you being a producer and working for rappers and singers. When did you decide that you wanted to leave that behind for, you know, not the most part? I know you're still doing it, but when did you decide that you wanted to put your voice on something?
I always put my voice on stuff, like, ever since I've been doing music. But I just got to a point where I just got bored, and I got tired of seeing other people have their creative movements. And then I was like, what am I supposed to do? And producing is fun, but I was around a lot of producers that were trying to be artists at the time, but they made a name for themselves as producers and like spent most of their youthful years just producing for other people. So when you're like trying to be an artist, sometimes it's kind of hard to do it when you're like in your early 30s, you know, or like late, because you start having kids and traveling starts to become like more hectic. And so I was still young, and so I was just like, okay, I want to just try it. And then I just got approached by some people, and then it just turned into something.
I remember seeing before you started releasing music as Channel Tress, you deleted all of the music that you previously had online.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decide to do that?
It didn't properly explain who I was. It was just like my bedroom stuff. But the funny thing is, some of those beats I still use, and I remake them, or I'll give them to other people and stuff like that. But it was just like I just knew that the music I was gonna start making was gonna be just bigger and hit harder. So I just wanted a clean slate, and I wanted to give the Channel Tress character like a fresh start, you know?
Yeah, I get that. And there's a certain sort of air of mysticism about the Channel Tress character as well. Like there's hardly anything really, like when I was doing a lot of research for the interview, there wasn't too much on you before that. Has that been also a conscious thing, or that's just sort of because Channel Tress took off so quickly?
I don't feel like it took off yet, but I feel like no. I just didn't go by this name before previously.
Yeah.
But there's stuff online, but it's not like a lot. Nobody was really paying attention. And I was just more so just doing producer stuff for other people. and so I just have production credits, but it's not under Channel Trust. It's under like my real name.
Right. Okay. And you said that you don't think Channel Trust has like come off yet.
I'm just. There's always room for improvement, and there's always like goals, And I still haven't put out my first album,
Yeah.
so there's just still things. There's things musically I want to grow into, and things in my show I want to grow into. So it's. I feel like I have a promising. I'm showing promise, but I still feel like there's way more I want to show and like do.
I think that's a good attitude to have, man.
Yeah,
A lot of people would say that you're at a really good point, but I can appreciate you not being satisfied with that yet.
yeah.
Do you have like a first step goal that you want to hit, and then you'd be like, okay, I'm at a happy level now, or is it just going to keep going and going?
Like it's happening now. Like definitely getting on these Gambino shows was
Yeah.
like kind of like a like whoa, I'm here. Okay, cool. And then when I played at Splendor, just seeing how all the people came out, and then some stuff that's going on in America that's about to happen for me. I'm just like, oh, okay, it's like happening. So most of it, I just want to be prepared for it and like just go give 100%. Because I don't want to. I just want to give a good show. I always want, and like my brand is very important to me, and I want people to have respect for that and the music and stuff.
I can
So,
respect that.
yeah.
I was talking to someone the other day, and they told me that you used to be involved in a Gambino cover band.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. How did that start when you were doing the Gambino cover band?
When I was in college, we just had a band it was called Fish Gang, and it was just being a bunch of my friends, and like we just would cover Gambino songs, Drake songs, just all kind of stuff. But yeah, but Gambino was like one of the main artists we would cover.
That's
So I
hectic.
remade it.
What year would this have been?
This was like 2011, 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so how does it feel now that you're supporting?
Like my friend sent me a picture of us back in the day at a show, like it was like 2012 or something or 13 or something, and like we're all at the show, and I remember how I felt at that show, like, damn, I would never fucking be here up there with him or anything, like, damn. And then, you know, 2, 3 years later, 4 years later, like I'm here now. It's just a testament to hard work and being consistent.
For sure.
It's just crazy.
Does he know that you were in a Gambino cover band?
I doubt it. I only got to speak to him for 5 minutes.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Might be able to talk more. Who knows?
Fingers crossed.
It's all good.
You've been booked on a lot of festivals recently. You did Primavera Sound, Field Day in the UK, and you've just been here in Australia for Splendour in the Grass. You must be meeting so many different artists all the time. Who were some of your favourite meetings as of late?
I met Kevin Parker.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was great. I met what I mean. I've been seeing everybody. I met James Blake. We became cool. I met Solange. I met Tierra Whack. I met Lizzo. That was fun. Yeah, I don't know. I've just been meeting people, and I'm not shy. I'll go up and say hi, or whatever. But, me and Tori Mom became friends,
And you're about to support him as well.
Yeah, we're going on tour. So
Did you become friends after that or before?
before,
Cool.
yeah. And he's helped me out with a lot of things and just gave me a lot of great advice. But yeah, it's just cool. It's just fun. I met Elton John.
Yeah. Elton John. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, he liked Controller, the first song. And then I don't know, he just called me and just encouraged me. And then he had a show in LA and invited me to the show and invited me backstage. I met him and his husband. We took a picture. He was just talking to me and just encouraging me. And it was just great. It was just nice. Yeah.
He seems like a nice guy.
He's great. He's great.
Who do you think has had the best festival performance you've seen so far?
That I've seen,
Yeah.
JPG Mafia, probably.
Okay.
I think that he's like one of my favorites right now. Favorite live performance too. But I could always watch his show. It's just tight.
Why was it so good?
It's a mixture of like punk and Old Dirty Bastard. Like just with some shit. It's just like some shit that it's not out right now.
Yeah.
It's just him and a microphone and just giving everything. And I just felt like in the festival world and the shows. We were just missing that. That just that it kind of reminds me of Iggy Pop too, just like that, just I don't give a fuck attitude,
Yeah.
just like, I just love it.
Real raw.
Yeah,
Cool. Cool. I'll have to keep an eye out to it. I've never seen him play live.
yeah, it's crazy.
Your sound is really deeply rooted in house, obviously, but I've seen you say in interviews that you don't really like going out. That was a while ago. Do you still have that
Nah, I've been
feeling?
going out more.
Are you getting used to it?
Yeah, it's like I try to I balance it. Like I just go to the right places because I used to go out and then I used to be scared to go out. But now it's like I'm starting to settle in like my character and like settle in like within myself. So, and most of the time I'm going out, I'm DJing, so it makes it easier to be social if I'm just playing
Yeah.
or something like that. But I've been trying to hang out trying to hang out after the shows and just network and get to know people, because I want to make music with a lot of people. And then also, you just learn a lot from conversations, like different things.
Like house music at its core is like incredibly social. When you first were sort of making it, did you find it difficult to, like, did it feel different making such social music even though you didn't really like going out, or did it not really have any impact on you at all?
Well, I don't make so my music is classified as house, but the way I maneuver with it, I treat it like regular music. So I don't. My shows aren't like house music shows; they're like performances.
Yeah.
So and then LA, I have a big community of friends. So when I'm going out, I don't feel like I'm going out because I'm with all my homies.
Yeah.
So, and I have a lot of friends out there. So I don't know. It's just like, yeah, it's like different.
Can imagine. Um, Hip hop and house are two genres which generally are seen to have pretty different feelings behind them. What's the point where those two genres and a lot of other genres intersect for you into your music?
I just listen to everything. Like on "Sexy Black Timberlake," if you'll hear like some of the melodies, you'll hear like "Old Dirty Bastard," like "Hey Dirty, baby, I got your money." Like you'll hear like that groove in there, and then you'll hear a West Coast synth line that make you
Yeah.
remind you of Dr. Dre, but then it's behind a house beat. But the BPM is not all like at 122 or 125 or 120. It's at like 117 or 118. So it just has the right amount of swing on it, So it's just like it's just yeah, it's just playing with like time, playing with space, and just like different things, you know. But it's just a different spin on it. But I don't know. I just try to make it good. And then I'll listen to certain old house records and like just be like, oh shit, I could probably mix that. It's just like gumbo, a bunch of things that you might not think go together, but when it gets together, it tastes good.
When did you realize that that sort of sound was something that you wanted to be making?
When people start liking it, and like just when Elton John hit me up because of controller,
You're like, I'm doing something right.
I'm like, all right, cool, I'm doing it. Because I was like, I wasn't sure, but the way people react to it, I'm like, okay, good, it's good, and it's kind of like it's fun the space I'm in, because it's like I literally do what I want to do, so.
So your new EP is called Black Moses.
hmm
Can you tell me a little bit behind the name?
So Black Moses, one that's an Isaac Hayes reference. He had a album called Black Moses, so definitely shout out to him. I was studying him for a while, because I'm really into like the Shaft character and stuff like that. And I want to one day, the way he like did the music for the film, and like he was like just as part of the film as like the music, like it was like kind of like together. I want to do something like that one day, So I was watching him, but he did a show. It was this festival called Watt Stacks, and he did a show, and he came out with like a cape on and like a hat and some glasses, and Jesse Jackson was announcing him, like, and then like at that time he was like the biggest, and so the crowd was just like loved it. He just came out looking so cool, and I'm from Watts, from all those areas, Compton, Watts, Long Beach, and all those. And so just seeing him and seeing like the Black Power, it was just powerful for me, and it really like influenced me. And so, I kind of felt like that about myself, you know, because I have a deep voice, I make music, and like, I have like a kind of mature vibe. And then where I'm from, I grew up in a very chaotic environment. It was really hard to get out. And so, Moses was the savior of the people that lead the people to the promised land. And so it's kind of like a what do you call it? Like an affirmation for me or something like it
Mm.
for me just to remind myself of the responsibility I have to my community and to my family, and just how I want to use it for the right things to give back and like to inspire people, because those things inspire me. So yeah, so it's just like kind of like ghetto, like a ghetto savior type thing, you know. And I'm grew up in church, so I like to make little church references here and there when I can.
You grew up in Compton and Linwood,
Mhm.
and you just said that your experience has sort of made you feel differently about the sort of music that you make and your career in general. Was there some kind of particular experience that attracted you to the music that you're making?
Nah, I just was messing around. Just a lot of like messing around, and I'm open to all kinds of music, and just going starting when I started going to shows. That's what really it helped me too, because you start seeing different things and what people react to. And when I got into like, I think I watched it was this documentary on Netflix about Studio 50, I think Studio 54, Studio 51, whatever that New York club was back in the day. And the disco and just how everybody was so free, and just like it was just like that. I really felt connected with that because I'm not the type of person that I don't like to be flashy, or like I like to be flashy but in a different way, very subtle but very just myself. And just watching those things, and like I will watch some house documentaries, and they were talking about like when they were walking in Chicago, it would be like a gay dude, some black people, people would wear clothes on. The police wouldn't mess with them because they knew that they were just going to go dance, you know. And so like that just really touched my heart, and I was just like, all right, I want to like be a part of something like that or create something like that, or just be a part of it, And once I got into the history and I listened to Moody Man, like I just like it just was something I felt connected to, because sometimes when you grow up in my community, you feel like you want to always be like the dopest rapper or do whatever the hottest thing is in that moment, and those things didn't work for me. I had to kind of create my own thing, and so when I just seen all those documentaries and heard all this stuff, it just something that really stuck with me. And then like I was reading something about Michael Jackson about how he would go there. That's how he found his character when he did Off the Wall. He was at the disco, just hanging around the party and just getting influenced by that life. And then, you know, he became his, Michael.
One of the tracks on your new EP is based on your brother's experience in jail.
Hmm.
Can you tell me about the experience of writing that?
Um, so I'll say I won't say the N word. I'll say brilliant person of color,
Cool.
right for
That works
now.
for me.
But that song I was in the studio because once I start writing a project, I just get in the studio like all week and I just write hella songs, and I have no particular goal. I'll just write a bunch of them and then go back and listen, and kind of myself tells me what I'm trying to say. And so yeah, I freestyled that and like made the beat, and like it just when I heard it and I played it for my team, they all just was like, yeah, they all resonated with it. It was like, yo, this is one. And I didn't even know it was about my brother at first, and then once I started getting into it and I started writing the lyrics out more, and then I just was like, whoa, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm feeling. So it was just I like sometimes I don't know. I just let myself tell me what's going on, or my spirit or whatever. So, but that was a very that's a very important song to me, and I'm happy that I put it out. And I'm happy that it's a part of my journey, because I really love that song. Hey, your watch says 333. That's my number.
Oh, cool.
That's great.
Why is that your number?
It's just a very spiritual number
You
for
just
me.
like it? Feels good to you?
Channel Trace.
So how did Gambino get in touch with you to do the show?
I think it was through management.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely thankful for the great people of Australia for making it happen, and my team. Yeah, it made sense though. Now that I'm at the show and I'm opening up and then seeing him, it just makes sense. And it's been like everybody that I've been on tour with this year, it has been for a reason for me in a spiritual way, and it's like taught me a lot, you know. So I think it just falls in line with that because I looked up to him for a long time, and so just to be here, it's just really one. It's inspiring me, but I know that people that know me and where I grew up, it's inspiring them too. Like just my journey and how I got here. So it just makes sense. God is good. I just think it just makes sense.
Feels really natural. You've also worked with Ozzy Talon, Winston Surfshirt. You remixed their track
Yeah,
Project Redo.
yeah.
What drew you to their music?
Management. But he has a really I checked it out and I had definitely had to make a decision to do it or not. But his voice, he just has a weird voice and it's real soulful. And I wouldn't think that would come from Australia. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's like my biggest stream song or something like that. And it was like crazy because I was like so worried about it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did it because I did it in my bedroom. It was like one of those like things I just did, and then like I don't know. I was just happy the way it came out.
Yeah, it was great.
And
Did you ever have anything to do with him?
not yet. What if we get together? I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, stay tuned. And who else from Australia has grabbed your interest recently?
Um, I'm taking an interest into Kwame. He's a rapper out here.
Oh, yeah?
I like him.
Yeah.
He's a good person. He's real cool.
You've met him?
Yeah, we hang out sometimes, and he fucking. We can cuss on this.
Yeah.
He fucking.
Not too much, but
Oh,
a
where
little bit, yeah.
he performs. Sorry for swearing.
That's cool.
He performs like really good. Like I seen him live. He gives it all, and he just has a good spirit. So I've been like, he's been cool, and Tame Impala. No, I'm just playing.
You can say that,
well, yeah,
man.
Tame Impala you
Huge.
already know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know much, but that's kind of who I know. Right
Cool.
now.
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah.
Cool. So we have this section on the show which is called Shoutouts. And basically it's like a time for you to give us an idea of people that you think are doing some really fantastic things, whether that be musically, artistically, through dance. So, Channel, welcome to Shoutouts. Do you have anyone in particular that you're loving at the moment?
I'd like to give a shout out to my dancers,
Mm-hmm.
Neek and Jesse. They've been like killing it on the road with me. I like to give a shout out to Amanda Flowers. She designs my clothes for my shows and my crop tops and stuff. And those like I have hidden messages on my clothes, so those are really fun. I don't know. I like to give a shout out to I don't know everybody that's just in music trying to get it and trying to figure it out, and I hope you figure it out.
Cool. Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
We've got another section on the show which is called Soulmates, and it's about shoes, as you might be able to guess. So, what is your perfect shoe?
Something that has a great like platform under it, so so I can like look a little bit taller, and then just a comfy sole.
Yeah.
And then like maybe like just I don't know. I dig monochromatic shoes, like if it's like all red or like lavender or something like that.
You're wearing some pretty hot ones today.
Yeah. Shout out Nike. Yeah, I just like funny shoes.
Funny stuff.
Yeah,
Kinda
but comfortable.
cartoony.
If it's comfortable and it's like it stands out a little bit, then I'm with it.
So since the Channel Dress project started, this is a bit of a tough one. What do you think has been your favorite moment?
Playing shows, seeing myself from last year develop to now, and just thinking about the possibilities of how I could just get better and better. It's just fun, and being able to dance and sing at the same time is just like crazy to me, and that's something I've always wanted to do, and I can do it, and it's just like, all right, cool.
Did that take a while to learn?
Not really. I kind of just stepped into it.
Cool.
But I would practice every day.
Mm.
I was always in the dance studio practicing. I'm still am. So it's just a good skill to acquire, and it's something that I want to do for the rest of my life.
And what's next for you?
More music. Trying to get to that goal of just selling out arenas one day, and just putting out great music and scoring a movie.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
And my final question, man, if you could give any piece of advice to someone hoping to get their music out there, what would it be?
Be yourself. I know that sounds like cliche, but if it comes to you, you don't want to get it being somebody else. It's so easy for me, and it looks easy because I don't have to be anybody else but me. So just be yourself and practice and be consistent and be a good person.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show,
Thank
man.
you,
It was
bro. I
such a
really
pleasure.
appreciate it. Definitely. Same here.